Hello, Divine Ones. Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope you are doing well and feeling great and have been reflecting on this learning. We are now on week 4. Can you believe it? Titled Take Off the Mask. And we are jumping into the first lesson for this particular module. And the title for this lesson is What You Are Not, Breaking Free from the Ego Imposter. Imposter syndrome is a well-known concept and often leads us to doubt our abilities, undermine our experiences, and question our skills. But let's go beyond the surface and delve into a deeper understanding of this phenomenon. It's not just about feeling like a fraud. It's about living a life that doesn't align with your true self, a life as someone you were never meant to be. The imposter represents the inauthentic you, not your genuine self. It's a persona you've adopted, shaped by societal norms and past traumas. It's a form of self-deception that can persist unnoticed. Our identities play a significant role in repeating this deception. They dictate who we should be and what we should value. But it's essential to know the difference between who you truly are and what you are not. Many of us derive our self-worth from external roles and identities, such as being a strong woman, a mother, a wife, a professional, a daughter. These roles, whether they pertain to our emotional, mental, biological, family, cultural customs and traditions, or goals, do not define our core essence. We, Divine Ones, are far more expansive than these societal labels. These identities are like masks we put on, constructed from early conditioning. Think back to when you were a child and were asked this question: honey, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, Divine Ones, that was the start of your persona, a persona that can easily be put upon you and taken away from you. Unlike your true self, which is unmoved and unchanged. These enticing identities function as veils, preventing us from seeing, embracing, and living from our divine selves. To truly understand ourselves, we must shed these masks and break from the external influences that binds us to them. Now, don't get me wrong. You can still enjoy the pleasures of life, but recognize that they were never intended to define you or provide enduring happiness. Your authentic essence lies in returning to the purity you possess as a baby, free from pain, distrust, competition, and that need for external validation. The mask of the ego imposter deceives us into thinking we are broken, unworthy, and incomplete. It craves power and control. The concept of ego imposter is something that many of us may have felt, but perhaps not fully understood. Well, let me describe it for you. This may sound familiar. It's that nagging feeling of not quite being yourself and playing a role. It's the persona we adopt to fit in and to protect ourselves from perceived threats. It convinces us we need to be a certain way to be accepted or loved. According to Eckhart Tolle, spiritual teacher and self-help author, the ego is a part of your mind, he says, that comments, doubts, and speculates on everything. The ego is driven by fear of being nothing. which it tries to alleviate through identification with material things, thought, and emotional elements, giving rise to what you think as of yourself. You see? That's the deceitfulness. Jeffrey Allen, an energy healer and trainer, says, your ego wants to be important. And at the same time, it makes you play smaller than your true potential. Divine ones, to embark on this journey, we must strip away the illusions created by the ego imposter and discover our inherent worthiness. Dr. Michael Beckwith, renowned spiritual teacher, said when you transcend your ego, you desire for everyone to have success, joy, happiness, health, and abundance. He explains that when the ego dominates our perception and actions, the emphasis is on me, my, and mine. Living from this ego place is also known as greed and stinginess. On the contrary, living without ego is based on unity, love, and generosity. And these divine qualities begin to govern your perception and ideas. This realization became evident to me when I navigated the complexities of co-parenting. I had to let go of the fear that I wouldn't be a full-time parent to my children and work to release the need to constantly prove my love and worth. I no longer wanted to sacrifice my standards and well-being to please others so I can feel validated. I work to transcend the identity of motherhood and embrace the fact that I am a divine and consistent presence in my children's lives, regardless of circumstances. I am learning to rise above the 5 egoic habits of criticism, people-pleasing, validation-seeking, impressing others, and competing. I'm discovering a power within me that goes beyond a role and a title. Remember that the ego imposter is not your true self. It's a construct born out of fear and conditioning. By peeling away this imposter, you unveil the beauty of your authentic self, a self that is inherently valuable and deserving of love and acceptance. Embrace this journey of self-discovery, and you'll find that breaking free from the ego imposter is the key to living a life of true authenticity and fulfillment. We will delve deeper into this and explore the 5 egoic habits and their impact on our journey toward self-realization. I've invited my friend, Madee Davenport, a spiritual teacher and leadership coach, to share his wisdom on this topic. Madee is the CEO of the Soul Focus Group, an organization dedicated to nurturing authentic human connections and fostering cooperation over competition. Through his teaching, he empowers leaders worldwide to embrace their true power through love, clarity, authenticity, and connection. Together, we will explore how these egoic habits can obstruct our path toward embracing our true selves and how to grow beyond the ego imposter and be one with our inner truth. But before we jump into the conversation, I invite you to pause and do your reflection work. Grab your workbook and begin contemplating and answering honestly these questions. Number 1, do you recognize moments in your life when you felt like you're wearing a mask or pretending to be someone you're not? What are some of the roles or personas you've often adopted in different areas of your life, like work, relationships, and with family? What do you think the ego imposter represents in your life? How would you describe it? How has the ego imposter influenced your self-image and behavior over the years? What benefits do you envision in embracing your true and divine self, both personally and in your relationships? And lastly, what are some small steps you can take to begin the process of unmasking the ego imposter and living authentically? Enjoy this process, go deep in your reflection, and when you're done, let's jump into this conversation with my D.